I don't know about you guys, but I haven't been to a military surplus store in a long time. I know back then there was a lot of gear at a pretty good price, but I hear that may not be the case anymore. So in today's video, we're going to the closest military surplus store to see if we can buy kit to accomplish the same things that my quality kit can accomplish. So to be specific, this needs to hold guns, ammo, and admin gear like medical or really anything else we want to hold. Really, those are the three main things that gear tries to accomplish, so that's what we're going for today. Once we buy everything, put it together, we're going to head to the range and try it out. But now, let's go to the store. The first thing I noticed when we walked in is how much stuff there is. They have camping gear, tactical gear, clothes, and even training manuals, which I was not expecting. We eventually found the vests and other kit, and the keyword here is vests. To me, most of them felt more like a vest than an actual plate carrier, even though some of them technically held plates. In this section, we also found exactly one holster that would work for us. There were a couple drop leg holsters, but they really didn't have any belts that would actually work for what we were trying to do. So we had to settle on a holster that actually mounted to the plate carrier itself. This is definitely not what we were looking for, but it'll technically work. As for the plate carrier, we chose one that had the closest form factor to a modern plate carrier, and yet again, it really wasn't ideal. We also picked up a budget 2-point sling that completed our objective of holding guns, and lastly, we bought a couple of other pouches that hold magazines and other admin stuff. Now at this point, we really need to address something that you guys are probably already thinking. None of this stuff is actually military surplus. Everything we ended up buying was actually brand new from a generic budget brand. I was actually hoping to find a military surplus chest rig, but sadly there just wasn't any options. So we just got out of the military surplus store. We spent $231 and I'm not feeling good about it. It's definitely not great looking kit, and it's really expensive. So we're gonna go back and assemble it and see what we can do. So just for fun, we want to get Jake's reaction to what we bought. I want to start with the big thing here first.
Oh man.
What do you think?
Yeah, dude, that's peak performance right there, brother.
That's the best you can buy at...
How much was it?
So I can't tell what's what, but I think it was $109, maybe.
Made in China, Rothco.
Yeah, so that's pretty much...
It's actually a pretty well-known gear company.
Is
Rothco,
it?
Yeah.
Because to me, it looks like Amazon Basics.
It does look like that.
I'm gonna be honest.
It looks like the Temu.
Yeah. This was the best looking one there. And I don't know what size plate this is. Like what, 15 by 15? Like,
yeah, that's
not gonna fit a 10 by 12 plate. It's gonna be flopping around in there like crazy. So that's the first thing. That's the core of what we're going for here.
I think it'll work. Yeah, like here's the thing with cheap gear is it always works when you first get it, but it's the stitching and then constant wear over time that's the true testament to it. Like YouTube guys are notorious for this. I say this as we're filming a YouTube video, but like they'll wear a piece of kit for an outing and be like, oh, it's good to go. And it's like, well, that's not really, you have to test this stuff over a year. Over a year, this versus like a Velocity Systems, yeah, it's gonna be completely different.
This also looks like it's super universally sized, I would say is the nicest way to put that. We could
fit both of us in there.
Yeah. Yeah, swimming in a trash bag. I don't know what that is. All right, next one I think you're gonna like even more. So we had to hold a handgun.
Oh, man.
Yeah, buddy. If this wasn't your first holster when you were like 12,
no drop
then I don't
adapter?
know. No.
Oh, come on.
I know. Well, see, I wanted to go full FUD and put it like right here.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could put your Taurus in there. You know,
because mounting a rifle is not important at all when your handgun's in the way.
Dude, that's what they did back in the GWAT.
That's what they did. I don't understand that when you go to a military surplus store, none of it's military surplus.
No,
it's just
pretty
much Amazon.
So
this is I was looking for some like, you know, really old school chest rigs, and that's just not what's there. So the next stuff isn't as fun. We'll say, let me give you something else that's kind of dumb. All right, here you go. This is, everything else is somewhat normal, but we had to hold mags.
Yeah, all right.
One of the stipulations. Talking about mags. Because why wouldn't you put
everything was Rothco.
9mm?
Yeah. Dude, there's already a mag carrier on the pistol pouch. Like, why do you
why do you need more?
Yeah, what the heck, dude? Extra weight.
And then
pounds.
Yeah. And then another thing is we had to carry kit,
Tactical
radio, I don't know. I was thinking radio, maybe medical kit. And then Connor made me buy this. We have to hold the gun.
Oh, dude, yeah,
So that's like...
That's just...
Is that Lucas's new sling?
Oh my god. Yeah, bro. That's man.
What's this for? Stretch whenever you like. I don't understand.
Know. Like in the military, we had something similar like this for like 240 gunners because it had a little bit of give to it, but There's also a giant, I don't know. This is goofy. That's what this is, okay?
So we had to hold a gun, which is this and this, right? Holding the gun to you. We had to hold kit, and we had to hold magazines. So we've accomplished our goal, but we paid $230 for all this. Do you remember what I just paid for a used plate carrier?
It was like below 200, wasn't it?
$250.
Oh, okay.
So I bought a really nice Cry Precision plate carrier for $250. So we paid $230 for all this. You think it's the same quality?
No, not even close.
Yeah, this is gonna be rough. But
so you guys went to a military surplus store and got no military surplus?
Pretty much. There's nothing there.
Nothing there, really?
No. Nothing. Oh. I wonder if I can get in this without even unbuckling.
Yeah, that's...
So I didn't even need to unbuckle it. I just slid it on.
Oh man, that's...
What do you mean doesn't look too bad?
Bro, it looks like those like vests you get from the Halloween store that come up once a year.
I look like a mall cop.
Yeah, oh god, dude. Yeah, that's
Tell you what though, if you get shot, you have so much protection. I'm not even worried about it. You guys can shoot me, I'm fine. Taking a look at the plate carrier itself, this actually has an inner strap so that a normal 10-inch plate will actually fit in there tight and kind of hold it in place, and you just have a lot of extra cloth on the sides and the bottom. So the plate actually positioned properly in this plate carrier. I was not expecting this at first, and it was kind of a nice surprise. But unfortunately, this plate carrier still has way too much material. It's so oversized. It could fit a 5X person, and with me normally running medium plate carriers, this just felt huge. So up first, we attached the rifle placard to this. This system is Molly, which is kind of dated. Most systems use a modern placard style, which has 2 clips and Velcro. This had 6 Molly straps, so it took quite a bit of time to assemble and was kind of a pain in the butt. The material actually felt thick, but cheap. And then the stitching was actually nice, but it feels like the bungee straps could fall apart pretty quickly. Taking a look at the holster, I actually wanted to put this on my chest, but that just wasn't going to work the way the Molly was positioned. It was 90 degrees off, so I had to throw it on the cummerbund. With how floppy this cummerbund was, I was not sure that this was going to work. Putting this cloth holster on a floppy cummerbund could be an issue, so we're gonna have to see how scary this is on the range and if it's actually gonna be a problem. This holster does have a spare mag holder on the front, but reaching over to try to do a reload might be kind of difficult. I think I might just throw it in there as a spare though. One of my biggest complaints with the holster setup, other than the safety factor, is going to be that you cannot run an optic or a weapon light. I even tried running a TLR7 sub, which is a smaller weapon light, and it just wasn't going to work. The reason I could not run the optic is because it would not allow the gun to go fully in the holster and fully protect the trigger. Taking a look at the spare mag holder, this seems pretty normal. It just mollies on like the other attachments do. However, these mags are 15-round Glock mags, and they are incredibly tight in this holder. And if you wanted to use the Velcro that goes over them to protect them, it barely fits over this 15-round magazine. There's probably only 1/4 of an inch of actual Velcro engagement. So if you used a Glock 17 mag or larger, it's probably not gonna fit. I was not impressed by this admin pouch. It was already falling apart before I even put it on the plate carrier. This bag feels really thin, the Velcro's falling apart, and then the zipper also feels really bad. So this is definitely probably one of the worst parts of the kit when it comes to quality. When it comes to the cummerbund on this plate carrier, this is one of my biggest complaints with the plate carrier itself. It's incredibly loose, there was too much room, and with the inner strap, I just found that with it tight all the way, the cummerbund was still floppy and loose, and with my mags on the left side and my gun on the right side, this system feels super floppy, and it might be kind of difficult to use at the range. I've gotten this as tight as I possibly can. The cummerbund is just still ridiculously loose. I don't know why they made this for 5XL sized people, but they did. I mean, you can see I could probably swim out of this if I had to. I can't get it any tighter. The gun feels a little too close. The mags feel a little too close. I could have probably scooted that over a little bit. Drawing this is going to be super cursed. So this is what the military surplus plate carrier looks like. It's not really military surplus at all. This is Amazon special plate carrier. I think it's only gonna get worse once I add plates in here because they're gonna be swimming around. Everything's incredibly loose. Everything feels super cheap. I wanna show you guys, just for reference, a really nice plate carrier. I'm gonna throw on my Cry JPC plate carrier for you guys so you can really see the difference. So for reference, this is my Cry JPC plate carrier. I got this used for $250 on Facebook Marketplace. We paid $230 for that. Sure, this doesn't have a holster for a gun, but it does hold magazines. I have pouches everywhere that the guy gave me that came with this plate carrier. This is a military grade quality plate carrier, and for $250 used, there's absolutely no reason you should even consider the other plate carrier. However, the point of this video is to see how it does in the range. So let's go see how it does. So for the first raid, drill, we're gonna focus on the rifle here, and I'm just gonna do 3, reload 3, and then 3, just to kind of get a feel for movement with this thing and with this really awful sling. We're gonna try to do a 1 take here, just to get my initial reactions. I can say now that we put plates in it, it does feel a little bit better, but I feel like I'm a GTA character, and it definitely looks ridiculous. I would say this probably would look a little better if I did have a belt set up and I wasn't trying to put everything on a plate carrier, but that was kind of the stipulations of this. So this is where we're at. Let's go ahead and run this and see how good or bad this setup is. Wow, I had all kinds of issues with the sling. I could not keep my gun up the way I wanted to because the sling was so tight. It actually got caught on the back of the plate carrier, so I kind of had to push the gun out and break shoulder contact to do a reload. I missed the mag well a couple times because I was fumbling with the sling. Not great for the first run, but we're gonna run this a couple more times, see if we can iron out the kinks. So the sling came off right before this drill. I don't know how that even happened. It just goes to show why these clips are a terrible idea. So one thing that is really annoying about this setup is that I can't run an optic or a weapon light because of this holster. Now obviously somebody online could go buy a different holster setup or buy a belt. That didn't really go with today's challenge, but for this, I don't know why anybody would ever buy this. Not being able to run an optic is really frustrating. And then not having a weapon light, in Ohio right now it gets dark at like 6 o'clock, so 4 to 6 hours I'm awake without having a weapon light or being able to see what I'm shooting at. So I prefer a weapon mounted light, and you just can't do that with this holster. Also, the recoil impulse feels completely different than any of my other guns because there's no light, which does reduce recoil. Not my favorite setup. However, we've been running this for probably an hour now, and comfort wise it's actually kind of comfortable. I don't really have too many complaints about that. I still feel like I'm swimming in it, even with a thick hoodie on underneath of it, but let's run some more drills and see if maybe I can get efficient with this kind of a reload. Well, that was awkward. I will say that was really awkward. The holster gives me no confidence. I feel like I'm gonna have an accidental discharge with this really poorly designed holster. And then reloading up here felt really weird. 6.74, 9 shots of the reload. Technically that's not, or 6.47. Technically that's not terrible, but definitely didn't feel good. So after running the handgun, I will say this is my least favorite part about this setup. Unfortunately, the mission was to buy everything at the military surplus store. They did not have proper belts and holster setups, so this is what we had to do. And getting a grip on this handgun, I can't draw it with a full grip, so I have to draw and then shift my grip, either as I'm presenting the gun or before I present. Reloads are also terrible. I keep wanting to go to my waist. One time I accidentally grabbed a rifle mag just because my brain didn't know where the mags were. Obviously that's a training thing, but it's also just in a weird place, and I feel large. Like I feel like there's just a lot going on up front. I don't know who would do the old reach around to do a reload here, but not an ideal setup there either. Honestly, the pistol was the worst part of this setup. The sling was not great for the rifle. The reloads for the rifle wasn't bad, but we're gonna go ahead and run my personal setup, see what is uncomfortable, see what I don't like, and then at the end kind of compare and show you guys my final thoughts. So we just wrapped up. I will say running this plate carrier was obviously way more efficient. There's less stuff to get snagged on. It's smaller to my body. I can actually wear it without a hoodie and it fits properly. This one I had to wear a hoodie to get it to fit properly. I will say this was a little more comfortable than this, but that's probably because I don't have this size properly for me. I just bought this used on Facebook Marketplace for $250. You can buy a used Cry JPC plate carrier with all of these pockets that came on it, the placard, the pockets, the pouch, everything. We paid $230 for this. I would love to see the military surplus do better, and if you guys just quit buying it, they would be forced to transition back to military surplus or stock real good stuff like a Cry JPC or really any of the other good plate carriers out there. When it comes to performance versus dollar value, this was not that much more than this, and it's going to outperform it every day. This is way too big. It's universally sized. And sure, we were doing this to kind of see what we can get away with and what was available there, but I just really wouldn't recommend it. And now that's gonna vary from store to store, but I know that all of the ones in our area just sell Amazon plate carriers from random brands. So I guess to kind of go over what happened, when it comes to performance, it didn't perform that much different. I was definitely more efficient with this setup, primarily because I had a belt instead of trying to do everything from a plate carrier. Cramming a million things on a plate carrier, in my opinion, is never a good idea. I like the minimalist setup. Honestly, I'm probably gonna remove half of these pouches because I just personally don't use them. I'm used to running the T-Rex Arms plate carrier, super slim, there's nothing on it, and that's how I like it. I don't like packing a bunch of stuff on a plate carrier to get caught on. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. When it comes to rifle performance with that plate carrier, I'd say it was about standard with this. There wasn't much of a hang up with reloading. When it comes to handgun, having a proper holster is going to decrease time significantly and allow you to draw a lot faster. It's also going to be a much better holster system, especially if you're running like a safari land, and it's going to let you run the gun you want. We can run a weapon light, an optic, all the stuff we want on this handgun with no issues. So this is definitely going to be a better setup. So for the final hurdle we had today was this sling. I did not like this at all. I was getting snagged on everything. The bunginess aspect I don't think really does a whole lot for you. Now granted, I don't like this sling location. I wish I could have placed the sling location up here by the receiver, but it still wasn't great. I mean, it's getting caught on everything. It's also too long and really hard to adjust. So don't buy it. I mean, there's so many great slings out there. This is one of the cheaper things you're gonna buy for your kit. You know, $40 to $60, and you're gonna have a top-notch sling. So don't buy this sling. And so finally, talking about the longevity, we only had this for a couple of days. Obviously, time will tell. We're probably not gonna be putting in the time behind that plate carrier to see if it does well. But I can tell you right now, feeling the quality of this plate carrier, it's not gonna hold up for a year of using it weekly or monthly. The Velcro's already starting to fall apart. The stitching is actually overstitched and really nice, but all of the Velcro and elastic components are literally falling apart within 1 day of use. So it's just not premium stuff. If you're somebody who's not gonna use a plate carrier that much or train, I still would not recommend that product because it costs almost as much as a used quality product. So kind of landing the plane on the state of military surplus, I really just can't recommend it. I hope that eventually they go back to traditional military surplus. Going into this challenge, I was really just looking for a chest rig that I could hold the mags that I want to hold and have all the kit that I wanted. Maybe I could have found a belt that would work and a holster setup, but it just wasn't there. And I just can't recommend it. Hopefully they can go back to where they need to be. In the meantime, if you guys want to buy used gear, Tax Swap is a great place for that. And hopefully we can see you guys out there running premium stuff and not this really bad Amazon military surplus gear. So if you guys like this video, this is obviously a very different video for us. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.